everyone. We are from IUPUI, which is Indiana University, Purdue University, Indianapolis. And I just wanted to start off with some introductions. So I'm Shannon Kucaj, and I am the webmaster and secretary of our chapter.
Hi, everyone. I am Medha, and I'm the another webmaster and secretary.
I'm Zobair Choudhry. You can call me Z, and I'm part of the social committee.
Hey everyone, my name is Unnati Nayak, and I'm one of the co-presidents for our chapter.
So then now I just wanted to share what we will touch upon today. So today we have some great tips that you can relate to your old chapter about avoiding procrastination, being productive, and making those social connections, especially during the pandemic. Today you'll learn how to break the ice and get past that Zoom awkwardness to help build you those connections, especially in your meetings. So I thought we would start today with our first poll, which is how often do you procrastinate? So as the poll indicated, we all know what procrastination is. So sometimes it was the winning one. And so procrastination is the avoidance of doing a task that needs to be accomplished by a certain deadline. So we all know that looming dread, the assignments, the deadline, where can I find the time? So we have some tips for staying productive, and this could be something that you relate to your old chapter as well. This is something that I think would be useful as well. So firstly, we have making a to-do list. So making a to-do list is especially important because this helps with time management and keeping track of all of those deadlines. So, coursework, events, work, class time. Also, this could be something like keeping track of your meetings. And I just wanted to preface a little bit. I use Outlook Calendar, and it's very helpful. This is where I keep track of everything. I color coordinate according to the event. And this is also how I keep track of when our meetings are. And you could also do this as on paper. So with a planner, you can use different colored pens and, color coordinate according to what you would like to do. So I encourage you all to fill it out every day. Nothing feels better than checking this off your list. And especially, recommending this to your all chapters, really important too, so they can keep track of all of their life endeavors as well. The next step, we have set goals. So SMART goals are another way to think about your goals and kind of set them up. So it's an acronym for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So first, specific. This is stating exactly what you'll do in your goal. So what exactly will you accomplish? Why do you want to accomplish it? Next step, we have, I think, one of the harder ones, measurable. So this is finding an exact way to measure. So this is, using metrics, anything to help reach this goal. And this is where it kind of gets important, and try to make it as specific as you can, because I feel like many times we make goals that kind of fall off after a while if we aren't dedicated with them. So next we have achievable. So make sure this is within your scope. How can you accomplish this goal? What are the steps that you need to take? This is something that, if you don't have the resources, how will you get them? Next up, we have relevance. So make sure this is actually relevant to your life. How is this going to be effective in the long run? How does this connect to your future careers? This is something that's good to think about. Next is time bound. So state when you'll get it done, exactly when you'll get it done. State that specific time to help you guide your plan on finishing this goal. So now I have an example. So the first specific goal would be improving job interview skills. So a way to make this more specific is stating how you'll go about doing that. So becoming more confident and effective at responding to and asking questions. So that's a way to make it more specific. Next up, we have measurable. So this is making it measurable to you. You will have search for tips on interviewing skills, practice mock interviews without feeling that anxiety. And another way you could think about this is actually doing an X number amount of mock interviews too. So practice 3, so then you can make it more specific. And next we have achievable. So I will practice speaking in class. I'll find out if there's resources on campus. I'll take a class on public speaking. These are ways that make it achievable for you and offering yourself some resources. Next up, we have relevant. And so this is having strong interview skills and competence will aid me in getting a job in my career. So this is making it more, relevant to you as an individual, what you want to do when you're older in your career, and then time bound in 3 months, I'll be more confident. So I just encourage you all to think about making SMART goals, especially within your organizations as well. Having this goal, having maybe 3, and then putting this out to your actual members as well.
Another way to stay productive is by using the Pomodoro Technique for daily tasks. It's also called the tomato method, which consists of 25 minutes of work followed by a 5-minute break. Writing what you have accomplished at the end of each 25 minutes also keeps you aware of when you are spending too long on certain tasks. The golden rule of this method is that the 25-minute tomato has to consist of pure work. If you find yourself scrolling through Instagram or going on Facebook or talking to someone, you have to restart. You have to squash the tomato and restart your work all over again. It's an effective way to achieve a balance between quantity and quality. Hey, can you do the poll with the Pomodoro Technique question? That's right. Most of you guys got it right. So it is because like Pomodoro represents a tomato timer, and that's why it's also called a tomato method. So on to the next step. It's also in COVID-19, we sort of have that need of human connection, since we are asked to social distance. The increase for connection and sort of the attempt to not have a further rise in loneliness is kind of a challenge. So the best way to sort of deal with this can be try to form a support group around you. So groups are an opportunity to connect with other people, know their stories, and share your stories. This has a ranging impact on our bodies, including increasing the negative effects of stress. So hence, I urge you to go find a local organization or attend online therapy sessions, and this can help you sort of overcome the need for human connection in this pandemic. Another way to have a support group in your life is trying to form a study support group. So for example, if you're taking a physics class, you can have a support group of 4 people, where one person can be a scheduler who sort of makes sure that everyone is present and knows what needs to be done. Second one can do the responsibility of scribe, which means writing the main points of the concept. Skeptic can be someone who questions whatever is being said, who asks why. Supporter is someone who makes sure that everyone's ideas are heard and no one is disrespected. On to some tips for avoiding Zoom awkwardness.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about some tips for avoiding Zoom awkwardness. But first, have you guys ever experienced Zoom awkwardness? Eileen, if you could prompt the question there. Okay, so social awkwardness is the feeling we experience when we believe that our desire for being accepted by others is threatened in a given situation. For example, when someone you don't know says hi to you as they walk past in the hallway and you're just like, I have no idea how to respond to that. How to overcome social awkwardness. Realize that you're not in this predicament alone. Stop worrying about what other people think about you, because you're probably not going to meet them again. And if you do, it's probably going to be in a different setting, such as face-to-face. Smile at everyone you meet, because you should never have a reason to be nice to someone. It might just make their day. Practice conversing with people you don't know. Meeting new people and changing how you interact is always a good idea to keep a healthy mindset. Focus on the positivity. Be a good listener, because not everybody needs you to give their feedback. They might just need to vent and get it off their chest. Memorize names, faces, and information, because forgetting someone's name you have already met is just awkward, and that is the one thing that we're trying to avoid here. When you join a Zoom meeting, it's always a good idea to say hi and introduce yourself to break the ice. Maybe even start a small talk like, how was your day? What's your major? Do you have any other classes today? Something that we all PES at IUPUI do is for example, we hold social events via Zoom. Like, for example, 2 weeks ago, we held a pet show in which everybody introduced their pets, and that's always a good idea to break the ice. The benefits for adding a video are abundant. You can add a human touch to the conversation, read body language, and keep everyone's attention in check. Because when you are face-to-face, it is considered polite to look at someone as they're talking to you. And when it comes to Zoom, it should be considered polite to have your video camera on. Treating Zoom meetings just like in-person meetings by actually showing up. It helps you realize that even though you might not be face-to-face, at least you're not talking to a computer. It is also something that we all PES at IUPUI do, is that we keep our webcams on and everyone changes their name to a preferred name. For like me, it's just the letter Z.
The next step would be to put some thought into your wardrobe. So people often feel more confident when they look good, when they look presentable to others. So to do this, block at least 15 minutes before your call as a prep time so you can get ready. And right before you join in, check a mirror and make some minor adjustments or any last minute adjustments before you join in. The next step is to initiate a conversation. Everyone is probably waiting for someone else to talk. And it might be very tempting just to sit back and wait for someone else to go, but then it's highly encouraged that you be the one to break the ice and get some conversation flowing. Our fourth tip, it transitions perfectly from the third one, which is to compliment early and often. Everyone likes to be complimented. If you're talking to someone you never met, complimenting them could be noticing a piece of jewelry that they're wearing, their outfit, a poster in their room, or it could just be something about their location. This makes the other person feel appreciated and encourages and makes them more likely to continue with the conversation. And our fifth and final tip is to ask questions. What better way to get to know someone other than asking questions? This helps you to get to know more about the other person and come up with common connections, and also encourages to bring up topics for future conversations. In our chapter, we encourage all our members to ask questions to other members and also to the officers. So with all these tips, who's up for being the game changer during this pandemic and beyond it?
How have you managed to have so much student participation? How do you manage all the student participation in the chapter? And yeah. Anyone want to field that?
Yeah, sure. So we have Zoom meetings, and we prompt them like with an email firstly telling them like what we're kind of doing. And for last time we had a pet show, so we told everyone to get prepared and show their pets or anything else that they think they would want to show, kind of like a show and tell kind of thing.
And we also shared it like on our Instagram using like a hashtag Alpez pet show, and sort of that's how we try to keep people engaged.
Great. Okay. Thank you so much. That was a great panel of you. Thanks to all of you for presenting and sharing great information, just really super relevant to our students and leaders and scholars to manage their time and stay positive. And I loved the memes. They were great. So thank you so much.